management research. Hello and welcome to the Management Research Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Eugene. Hello and welcome to the next episode in my podcast dedicated to the topic of strategic management. So strategic management is a very large topic and there are books written about strategic management and these books are very big. That is why we cannot cover everything. But I would like to talk with you about some things that are related to strategic management that might enhance your interest in strategic management. The first thing that you need to know about strategic management is that it is very different from other types of courses that we teach at our university. And the main difference is the level of abstraction. If you work with process management or if you work with financial management, you will find out that these things are pretty concrete. You know exactly what you have to do and the time horizon is very low. So the decisions you make will have to be implemented immediately and the results will be seen in probably a few weeks or a few months. In the event of strategic management, you have to think in very abstract terms because decisions that you make will have impact on the development of your personality or of your firm or of your career in 3, 5, 7 or 10 years. And previously when we talked about strategic management, we talked about planning horizon of about 5 to 10 years. Now we talk about 2 to 3 years due to dynamism of the environment and the fact that we cannot make such a big plans because too many things are changing simultaneously. But anyway, in the field of strategic management, you have to have this abstract thinking. That is why we have usually two types of students in the class. Those who are good in strategic management and those who are bad in strategic management. And it is not that they are learning bad, they just cannot switch to this abstract thinking. You probably know if you ask about half of the students will say that the strategic management is blah blah blah, something about 5 years and nobody knows what is really going to happen. And these are exactly the students that do not understand what it means to think in abstract terms, to think in future terms, to think in time horizons of about 5 years. At the same time, we have many students who are really good in strategic management, who understand how it works, who understand in how much the values and the mission and the vision are important, that they are not just an empty phrase, but they are really statements that will direct our living over the next years. What I do at the beginning of the class, what I discovered during one of the didactics classes that I attended, is that if you have something that is so abstract, you need to show it on a map. And I went online and I searched for a mapping tool and I found the Incarnate. Incarnate is one of the online tools and you can even build a free map of a certain size. If you want to have a bigger map or if you want to have specific details, you have to pay already. But even with a free map, you can depict an island, and on this island you can depict small villages, you can depict the cities, you can depict forests and so on. And I depicted them and I named them, like for example the forest of behaviorists or the village of non-profits and so on. And I drew a path that starts with the fear of the firm and goes to the end to the level of capabilities where we talk about the market-based view and capability and resource-based views of the firm. We discussed many things in my class and I could depict them on this map. I will try to post a link to the map in the description of this episode. Anyway, it was a very interesting exercise, and if you want to explain to somebody these abstract things, try to depict them. If you manage to do it, you will also be able to put it into words and explain to people who think in very concrete terms about what you want to achieve. And think about the following: there are no people who are good for strategic management or bad for strategic management. We think in different terms and we change the way we think. This is called the psychological distance or construal level theory of psychological distance. We can talk or perceive information about certain events or objects in abstract terms or in concrete terms. If I show you a hand, somebody will see a gesture and somebody will see the fingers. So fingers is very concrete thinking and gesture is very abstract thinking. It is the point of view of the observer how he or she will perceive this object, my hand. and what she or he will extract from this object, a meaning like a gesture, or will he or she observe the fingers or know the fingernails, or as my students sometimes say, your ring. And we switch between these two modes of thinking, and you need to teach students how to switch between them and when they need different levels of construal, when they need to think in abstract terms and when they need to think in concrete terms. If you plan, if you ask yourself, if you ask your management of your firm why you're going, where you're going, why you're going to go there, and what do you want to achieve, these are very abstract terms. How you're going to implement the strategy is very concrete terms. That is why if you are a student of business administration, you have to learn both. You have to learn both abstract thinking and concrete thinking, and you will have to switch between them. And even a strategy has to be implemented. The abstract strategy has to be implemented in very concrete terms. So with this in mind, I think we had already the first episode that leads us to the bigger course of strategic management. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about what strategy is, what makes a strategy successful, and what types of strategy we can have. See you in the next episode. Wish you all the best. And bye-bye.